Welcome to Reinventing Broadcast, where AI meets content. Hosted by Ben Anchor. Let's dive in.
Welcome back to Reinventing Broadcast, AI, Content, and the Future of Media. This is episode 11, our final module episode before the big capstone project. We are diving into module 7 of Berkeley's Executive Education course, which focused on aligning AI with organizational strategy and transformation.
It's great to be back, Ben. This week was especially interesting. It sounds like you're making big decisions around your capstone. And some real-world connections, too?
I had a really productive call with one of my course mates. He's based out in Silicon Valley and runs an AI startup specializing in chatbots, voice bots, and agents for businesses. We've talked a few times previously, but this week we discussed the final project in more detail.
Were you thinking of collaborating?
We were weighing it up, but we both agreed it's probably better to keep submissions individual. It gives more control and makes grading simpler, especially when people have different priorities and timelines.
Makes sense. So, what direction are you leaning toward for your capstone?
After a lot of feedback from industry colleagues and some brainstorming, I've landed on something in broadcast scheduling. It's one of those areas that's always been a bit old school in terms of workflows, very manual, very periodic, but it's now ripe for AI-led transformation.
So we're talking about things like optimizing schedules in real time based on viewer trends and data?
Well, traditional scheduling is usually fixed around commissioning cycles, quarterly or seasonal, but AI offers the opportunity to make those decisions in real time. That could be responding to live ratings, shifting trends, or even viewer sentiment data pulled from social media.
I love that. It's strategic and operational at once. But tell me more about your week. Sounds like there was more than just the project work.
Yes. I actually met up in person with another course mate based in London. We grabbed a coffee and chatted through the final few weeks, next steps post-course, and how we're thinking of applying all this learning. He's a CFO currently on a sabbatical, and he's looking to shift into management consulting with a C-suite focus. The course has really re-energized him.
That's a really powerful outcome. Not just the coursework, but how it's shaping everyone's career thinking. What about the course material itself? Module 7. What did it cover?
The main focus was AI strategy, which was great because it leaned into my strengths and my business consulting background. We've covered some technical modules in recent weeks, robotics, reinforcement learning, but this one took us back into strategic alignment. How to embed AI across a business, what structures need to change, and how to actually implement AI from a people and process point of view.
Let's unpack some of that. I know there was an assignment. Can you walk us through what you submitted?
So I chose to focus on a UK-based broadcaster, though I kept it generic to make the insights transferable. The theme was, what organisational changes would be necessary to embed AI into the broadcast schedule process?
So you had to consider both the structural and cultural elements?
Yes. I framed it using a few lenses: the imperatives for agility, data-driven decision-making, and cross-functional collaboration. Then, I looked at the formal structural changes that would be needed. For example, the creation of an internal AI unit under the CTO or CDO, which would act as a governance hub for all AI-related projects.
And that unit would work across departments?
Exactly. Each major function, programming, creative, ad sales, would have a liaison to the AI unit. Think of it like a product owner in an agile squad, someone who speaks both the business and the AI language.
I like that. It makes AI feel more integrated and less like an external bolt-on.
That was one of the big takeaways. AI needs to be embedded into the fabric of the organization. For example, the old model of having quarterly programming meetings would be replaced by bi-weekly sprints, where AI insights feed into what to schedule, when, and how to optimize it.
It sounds like you're advocating for a shift in both decision cycles and KPIs.
So performance measurement was another key element. There'd be new KPIs around audience share uplift, AD revenue increase, and engagement metrics. And for the teams adopting AI, you could incentivize behavior with bonuses or recognition for hitting those metrics.
That's an important culture shift. Did you touch on the upskilling needed?
You need new roles like data scientists, ML ops engineers, visualization experts, but also AI literacy training for the rest of the organization so they can understand and interrogate AI outputs.
Love that. It really shows how AI strategy isn't just about the tech. It's about people, incentives, and habits.
Exactly. And one of the closing points I made was about culture. You need to foster trust in these systems. That means transparency, town halls, data sharing. It's a journey, and people need to feel involved.
Sounds like a solid capstone foundation. What's next?
We've got a few Zoom calls lined up. Some course mates want to explore collaborative ideas for post-course ventures. I'll also be revisiting a few modules to pull reference material for my slides. And of course, getting the slides themselves underway. The deadline is June 19th.
You're on track. Just out of curiosity, how's the grading looking so far?
Pretty solid. I just passed both of the robotics module assignments, so I'm currently sitting on 54% of the total course grade. The capstone is 30%, so once that's in, the full picture will emerge.
Ben, while we've been diving deep into your broadcast experience and AI applications, there's another company that really exemplifies AI-driven transformation, Vodafone. Have you come across their AI strategy recently?
Yes, actually. Vodafone's AI journey is a really compelling one, particularly because it shows how a large, traditional telecom operator can evolve into a data-driven tech company. Their flagship AI platform, Toby, is a great example. It's their AI-powered customer service chatbot that handles millions of queries each month.
That's right. Toby was introduced to automate first-line customer support, and it now handles a huge proportion of their service interactions. But what's impressive is how Vodafone didn't just treat Toby as a standalone product. They integrated it into their entire organizational architecture.
They embedded Toby across digital channels and trained it in multiple languages, markets, and customer service processes. But that's just one piece. Vodafone also launched a dedicated Centre of Excellence, centralizing expertise across data science, machine learning, and NLP. That unit became the internal consultancy for driving AI adoption across their operating companies.
And they took it seriously with C-level sponsorship. The chief digital officer backed the strategy, pushing for AI capabilities to be embedded into both product and operations teams. I remember reading that their goal was to become a truly AI native company, not just a telco that uses AI on the side.
Yeah, and that shift required structural changes. For example, they flattened the data stack. So instead of siloed databases, they created a unified data lake accessible to all AI teams. That means product managers, marketers, and engineers all operate from the same source of truth. And it's governed by privacy, of course, especially given GDPR and other data regulations.
It's fascinating how Vodafone brought in human-in-the-loop systems, too. While the AI makes suggestions, customer agents can override them or give feedback, which is then looped back to improve the models. So it's not about replacing humans, it's about augmenting their decision-making.
Absolutely. That principle of augmentation is key. It's something I've seen echoed in broadcast too, like using AI to tag footage or auto-generate subtitles while still needing human editors for final checks. Vodafone shows that with the right structure, AI can scale without breaking the trust or quality.
And I suppose that's the takeaway for organizations of any size. Whether it's Vodafone or a mid-sized broadcaster, if you want AI to work, you have to embed it in strategy, structure, and culture, not bolt it on. Otherwise, you'll never move beyond pilot purgatory.
Totally agree. And as we've been learning on the Berkeley course, AI strategy isn't just about tools, it's about aligning people, incentives, and architecture to make those tools effective. Vodafone did that well. It's a good reference point for my capstone project, actually.
Very exciting. One last thing. Any extra learnings from the latest AI tools webinar?
Yes, actually. We revisited workflows, how to spot automation candidates, and think beyond the tools to actual transformation. It was more business strategy than tech focused, but those are the kind of conversations I live for. It reinforces that AI strategy is about long term, not just a one off initiative.
Couldn't agree more. Well, this has been another great episode. Thanks for sharing, Ben.
Thanks, Haley. And to everyone listening, don't forget to follow the series as we gear up for the capstone finale. See you next time on Reinventing Broadcast.
Thanks for listening to Reinventing Broadcast. Subscribe for more on AI content and the future of media. And visit ancast.tv for more info on Ben himself, the resources, other content, and news.